beautiful people. My name is Anotando Mulusi, your girl. Sanbonani, good night, goeienaand, absheng. Yeah, molweni, my people. Today we're talking all things balloon payment. Right. I want us to talk about that. So if you are interested about knowing about the car balloon payment, then stick around, grab a seat, and then let's have a quick chat about it. Firstly, I will start with what is a balloon payment. A balloon payment is also known as a residual. It is an amount when you're buying a car. Let's say you're buying a 300,000 car, and then it's an amount that reduces your installment. It gives you a little bit of a relief. It's more like a deposit, because when you're paying a deposit up front, then your monthly installment will reduce, and your capital debt that you owe the bank will also reduce. However, with the balloon payment, it's more like the same thing. Let's say you're buying a 300,000 car, and then you can't afford, and they say maybe you're gonna have to pay 7,000 rands per month for like 5 years, which is 60 months, and then you can't afford this monthly installment that they're giving you, and then they say, okay, we can do something for you and give you a balloon payment and take the 100,000 and put it on the side, and then we charge you on the 200,000, but at the end of the term of your car finance, you have to pay back this 100,000. So it will then reduce either installment. Let's say, for instance, it goes to 6.5, so you don't have to worry about the monthly installment. Okay, so what are the advantages of a balloon payment? Right. One, okay, I think let's first talk about the disadvantages of a balloon payment. One, it means that you have not finished your car, because at the end of the 60 months, when you finish paying your monthly installments, and when you're now saying, okay, finally, I am done with this debt, you are still required to pay the 100,000 rents that they have given to you as the balloon payment. And if you don't have this 100,000 rands cash, then you either have to ask the bank to refinance this. And then if they can't refinance it, because situations change, conditions change, we don't know what happens in your credit record in the 5-year period that you're paying this car. If they can't refinance it, then it means you either have to sell your car. That means now you will lose your car, and you have to take out of the sale, and we all know that the cars depreciate. So out of the sale that you have made from that car, you still have to pay 100,000. Hopefully it will still at least amount to 100,000 or more, so that you don't have to add extra. And if you don't want to sell your car, you either then have to go and take a personal loan, and a personal loan is such a killer, guys. For me personally, I don't want it. I have a terrible experience with it. One day I'll make a video and tell you guys how I paid off my personal loan before its term ended, because it was just too much. It was so ridiculous. Right, sharp. And then another thing that I had, I'm speaking under correction, guys, I haven't verified this, and I think I haven't asked more than 2 people to confirm this. One of the dealers, when I was looking for a car, they told me that if you take a balloon payment, then you have to at least stay with your car for like 3 years before you can decide to change it or sell it. So like I said, you need to verify this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I know someone, when I was looking for a car, they told me that. So you need to verify that information. And then another thing is that some of the insurances, they don't insure the balloon payment amount. So if you go to your insurance and look for a car insurance, they would insure all the other like things, but should something happen to your car before you finish paying it off, they will still pay you the money if you qualify to be paid the money for the car, and then but the balloon payment they won't pay. So they will settle the car, you don't have the car, let's say it's written off, and then on the other side you still have to pay the balloon payment right at the end. So please guys, just double check when you take out the car insurance, or while you're shopping for a car, do tell them before it gets delivered to you or before you collect it, do tell your insurance company that, you know what, I actually have a balloon payment. Will you insure the balloon payment as well? Because it's so important to know that as well. Because you might have to pay the 100,000 maybe before that 60 months. I don't know. But I think so. Because if you no longer have the car and the insurance has settled the car, that means you owe the bank the 100,000 rands, right? So just confirm that, guys, before you continue with anything else, right? Sure. Now, let's talk about the advantages of a balloon payment. All right. Firstly, who am I to judge you, right? Because you know your situation. If, for instance, let's say your work, you are you are an insurance broker or an agent, that you need to drive to go and meet the clients, you know. So if that will give you some commission, more commission, because the more clients you meet, the more chances of you getting more clients signing up with you and you getting more commission, right? So if that will help you, and that is the only way for you to afford the car that you want, or a car to drive you from point A to point B to be able to meet your clients, then who am I to judge? If that's the only option, go for it. But I'm just here telling you and alerting you about all the things related to the balloon payment, so that when you take it, at least you are aware of what you're doing, right? Okay, the advantages of the balloon payment: one, it just gives you that temporal relief, right? Because if you can't afford an installment now and you really need a car, and you know, if you can, please downgrade, don't buy that car. But if you can't, then it's okay, go for a balloon payment. So it gives you that relief on a monthly installment, right? But you must bear in mind that this amount that it gives you a relief on, it's just the car installment, sorry, it doesn't include petrol, it doesn't include insurance and other costs. So you must bear that in mind when you're buying a car, right? And then also it helps you with the affordability, because obviously if you can't pay, it means you can't afford. So it helps you, at least it gives you that little bit of a relief, right? So let me summarize, or let me just give, I don't know what to say, like the highlights or my views in this whole thing, right? One, okay guys, before I get to the summary of this video, I forgot to make an important disclaimer that none of my videos constitute financial advice. If you're looking for financial advice, please speak to a financial advisor. I'm not the one, but I'm just talking things from my experience. One of the highlights that I want to make about this video, about this balloon payment, is that one, you need to read your contract, because some car dealers, I don't know if they are desperate. With all due respect, I know there are some of them that are way too professional, that communicate and tell you every legal detail in your contract. But there are those that are so desperate. And one mistake you can do is to tell the car dealership that I'm willing to pay 5,000 rand. I'm looking for a car that will make me pay 5,000 rands a month. I did that when I was looking for my second car. And luckily for me, at the time, I knew exactly what a balloon payment is. And I was asking for this guy, please give me a cost breakdown, because the same car he was saying from him, I can get for like that amount in other dealerships. I was paying more, and to my surprise, his price for the car was like way more than on the other dealership where I ended up buying my car. And then I asked him, please send me a cost breakdown. I can't just sign. I can't just take the car. I need to know exactly what you did. How come that your monthly installment it's so cheaper than the place where the car is actually cheaper by like 50,000, I think, than from you. Did you give me a discount? No. How much did you trade my car in for? He couldn't tell me until I said I'm not signing. He even sent me to someone who's speaking closer, because I guess he thought when it's someone who speaks closer I'll just sign. And well, he doesn't know me much, because I don't just sign, I read. So this guy who speaks closer, he called me, and then he tried to explain, his colleague is saying he must call me because I need to sign a contract. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I need a cost breakdown, then I'll be able to decide on what do I do next. And when they sent me this contract, guess what? There was a balloon payment inside, and what else was there? I don't know, but the only thing that made my monthly installment to be less, it's the balloon payment. And I made it clear to this guy that I don't want any balloon payment. And I'm asking him, but how do you add that onto my debt? Because it's my debt. I'm the one who's gonna be paying it. You're not gonna pay it for me. How are you adding that for me? Like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you ask me? And I'm just thinking that people who don't even know what a balloon payment is, and they just excited, I want a car and I can get this car, this dealership is cheaper because on a month I'm paying this and it's 60 months. They don't know that the balloon payment has been added, and it catches you by surprise at the end of your term. And there are those things that if you don't know, you don't know, you just skip them, right? Because some of the things in the contracts that we're signing, they don't really make sense until you ask questions. And if you're not a person who asks questions, at the end you can't even tell the bank that I didn't know, because you signed, your signature is there. So please guys, read your contracts. Make sure that you tell your dealership, if you don't want a balloon payment, that I don't want any balloon payment, and you look for it in that cost breakdown, that it's not there, okay, or it's 0% or it's 0 rands, right? And then another thing that I want to say, if you have to take a balloon payment, make sure you understand those terms and conditions, right? It's not for me to judge, like, you know your situation better than I do. But if I were to advise you, I would say don't go there. Please try to avoid the balloon payment at all cost, right? Okay. And then, but if you have to take it, then please do go ahead and take it. Hopefully you will save. And if you can, please try to save on a monthly basis, so that you are able to pay your balloon payment at the end. And one thing you must know, paying an additional amount to your car finance, on, like, it's not gonna pay off your balloon payment. So if you happen to pay extra money into your car finance, please do tell the bank, phone them. I think after a couple of days you've paid the money, phone them and tell them the money that I paid, it's going to the balloon payment. Because it's unlike the house. On the house, when you pay extra, it's easy. The bank knows what to do with the money. It kills the capital debt that you owe the bank. However, with the car, they actually wait for you to instruct them and tell them that the money that I've paid, it's going either to a capital, or it's going to an interest, which I don't know why one would pay interest, or it goes to a balloon payment. I think some of them might allow, but just double check with them before you make the additional payment. If I pay extra, will it go to my balloon payment, or is there a possibility if I send an instruction to you and say, please reduce my balloon payment, will you reduce it, right? Please do get those details, guys, before it's too late, right? Okay. The last thing that I want to say, or at least the second last thing that I want to say to you guys, is that know how much you're willing to pay. Try to shop online, or try to shop and just tell the dealerships that I'm just looking. Before you speak to them, try to shop and shop and shop. Know exactly how much you are willing to pay on a monthly basis for your car installment. And do bear in mind that the car installment it's still, you still need to take into consideration that you still have to pay petrol extra, and we know the fuel prices, they hiking in South Africa, and you still need to pay the car insurance, and you still need to pay either the car service or the car maintenance. So you need to keep those, and also the car wash, guys. So you need to keep those into your mind when you go there and say, okay, I can afford. Because if you just have an extra 5,000 in your budget, in your monthly budget, then you might probably just need to take a lesser car than that money, because you still need to pay fuel, you still need to pay insurance, and those things are so important, because if you don't have fuel, you can't move. And if you don't have a car insurance, once your car is in an accident, then oh my god, you don't want that situation. These car repairs, they're so much expensive. We cry every day for our car insurance premiums, but believe me, fixing anything in a car is so much expensive. And then lastly, guys, before I finish off, when you take that balloon payment, if you can afford the full installment, just look at it. Let's say, for instance, they're saying to you, you are going to pay 7,000 rands, but we give you 100,000 balloon payment, and then now you're gonna pay 6.5, right? 7,000 to 6.5, it's 500 rands difference, and your car loan term is 60 months, right? Just do your own calculation, right? Don't just be excited, I'm gonna pay less. Calculate, if you take 500 rands and times it by 60 months, how much is it? I think it's about 30,000, as compared to you waiting for 60 months and now you have to pay 400,000 right at the end of your term. So just because now there's a 70,000 difference. So instead of you having to have maybe perhaps sacrifice that 500 rands or get it from somewhere, or there's always something that you can reduce. So just, unless there's nothing, but just do your calculation first and see, are you not gonna be losing now with just saving 500 rands a month, and only to find out you're gonna pay 70,000 extra at the end of your term. I hope I do help, and like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, please speak to someone who is a financial advisor. I'm just here telling you all the things that I know about the balloon payment based on my experience and what I've known or what I've learned in the time that I've been curious about the finances. So it's just the tips. What you do with the information, it's basically up to you, and I hope it will help you make informative decisions. I love you guys. Cheers.